The O'Reilly Factor is on tonight. Most Americans love their country, but there is some bad news. Our nation is in decline. Tonight, we will prove it.
This is hurting small businesses because that's the people who they've instigated the delay for. This, though, I think is probably the most unfair delay that they have made so far.
We asked Ms. Megyn Kelly to investigate all the delays on Obamacare. She will be here this evening.
Who's Bill O'Reilly? We came for the water show.
This is your world?
This is my world right
now. And now I'm standing in it.
Also, what kind of people follow the Factor? We sent Waters to San Diego to find out.
To see him be such an entertainer that you don't normally see.
You should see him around the office.
Caution, you are about to enter the no spin zone. The Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. America in decline. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Russia's violation of international law raises a very unpleasant question. Is the USA now incapable of confronting dangerous behavior? The short answer is no. We can still right wrongs if we have the will. But the stark truth is, America is getting weaker on almost every front. Let's start with economics. During President Obama's 5 years in office, median income for Americans has dropped about 7%. That's big, because while prices and taxes are rising, take-home pay is falling. Thus, individual Americans are less secure. As for the overall economy, the USA is also faltering. We, the people, have elected politicians who favor social justice over a robust marketplace. In order to create economic opportunity for all, business must be prompted to expand. But the Democratic Party, which now controls the Senate and the White House, has imposed a huge tax burden on private business, as well as on affluent consumers. The result, the job market remains sluggish, and with fewer good jobs, the country is weaker. In addition, millions of Americans are now looking for handouts as the explosion of disability applications and entitlements prove. On the military front, the nation is exhausted, therefore weaker. Iraq and Afghanistan have sapped money and manpower and left the American public with no appetite to right international wrongs. The Obama administration is even seeking to downsize the Army, a major mistake in a very dangerous world. The USA has lost its will to confront dangerous situations, and our allies almost across the board are timid due to selfishness. Their philosophy being, let America do it all. On the social front, we're heading for disaster. The collapse of the traditional American family speaks for itself. With almost 41% of American babies now born out of wedlock, many to poor, ill-educated women who cannot support them. The educational system is corrupt, with powerful teachers' unions refusing to impose responsible discipline in the public schools. Children at risk are beset with corruptive influences as the cynical entertainment industry peddles garbage to young people with little opposition from an apathetic media which tilts secular left. Intoxicating agents like marijuana are now celebrated as freedom-giving substances that should be available everywhere. Drug pushers are defined as non-violent criminals who just need a little rehab, not punishment. Crude behavior at sports arenas is tolerated, as is lying under oath in the nation's courtrooms, which are under siege by nuisance lawsuits designed by legal shakedown artists who have absolutely nothing to lose in a system which refuses to hold them accountable. Talking points could go on and on. I could give you scores of other examples to back up the steep decline in the economy, civility, and education. And you will not see those examples defined by a corrupt national media which refuses to honestly cover the news. This morning, for example, the nation's two largest newspapers, the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, did not even mention Lois Lerner taking the fifth again yesterday in the IRS investigation. They didn't even mention it. So if you think we have a vigilant press in America, you aren't really living here. You are residing in the land of Oz. Simply put, we're in trouble. Right now, American leadership sadly lacking in almost every area. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction. Joining us from Washington, Miss Laura Ingraham. On that optimistic talking points memo.
I gotta pop a Prozac. That is a depressing talking points memo.
It's all true? There anything that isn't true?
No, I sadly agree with you, Bill. Look, for a couple of years, I've been doing this segment on my radio show called America in Decline, and tracking cultural decline, religious decline, political decline, economic decline, our decline in influence in foreign policy. I mean, you kind of mapped it out, and I think people watching, they're nodding their heads.
No, I know.
And they're shaking their heads.
Where are we not in decline? There's only one place: the luge. We did very well in the luge in the Olympics.
Yeah,
that's the only place that we're not slipping.
Yeah, we saw a little help in curling. We did a little better in curling as well. But look, I think the question for America is how to turn this around, right? I mean, how to turn this around. The decline.
You really think most Americans want to turn it around? I think there's 50% of us want the hand. They want the nanny state.
I think. Yeah, well, you're raising another excellent question. Well, what happens is, number one, people get addicted to government and government handouts, and it's easy and it's there, so they take it, right? That's one problem. And so the idea of America in decline, who cares as long as I get my check? Absolutely right.
And then I don't want to think about it. I can get stoned. I want to get stoned, so I have to think about it.
That's why the pot laws are what they are today.
Let's legalize pot so we don't have to think about it.
Another thing, Bill, is that there are a lot of traditionalists, people who watch The Factor, who like Fox, and who want fairness, right? They feel like the system is rigged against them, right? There are a lot of special interest groups and politically protected classes that might be catered to in our political system. But for kind of Christian conservatives, they feel like there's a target on their back. They're demeaned and they're derided in culture and in the politics. They don't feel like there's any place for them to go right now. So those people are actually really patriotic and I think would really care about America in decline. But I think there's only a matter of time before even those people say, well, to heck with it. I mean, if this is the way the government feels about me, you mentioned the IRS issue, if they think I'm a hater every time I talk about the way my faith views marriage or any of the social issues, then why should I care about America being in decline? America doesn't like me. So I think we have a lot of dynamics involved here, and it's going to take incredibly deft leadership that lifts us up politically, economically, even spiritually, I think, for this thing to turn around.
I believe that there will be a charismatic leader in the traditional precincts emerge. That person really hasn't emerged yet, but they're going to have to do tough love on this country. You know, and that's what we need. Because look, I understand that you can't face down Putin with tanks and planes and rockets. We just can't do it in history anymore. We're recovering from these two massive wars, which really drained our spirit, our money,
our psyche.
Right. And if it wasn't for the military, we would have lost in Iraq. And I have a letter that I'm going to read later on. I mean, the military has been magnificent, but everybody who's watching this goes, you know what? We don't have any momentum. If America were a sports team, it would not make the playoffs.
Well, Bill, think of the money we spent in Iraq and Afghanistan. Our soldiers and our servicemen and women performed gallantly. $1 trillion plus, right? And then we see the $17 trillion plus in debt. And I think a lot of people just go, where did that money go? Like, what did we get for that money? Are we stronger? No. Are we more prosperous? Do we have a more positive outlook? You made the point last week, again, that yet another poll comes out. 62% of the country, for I think over 10 years now, a majority of Americans, think we're going in the wrong direction. Like, that has to mean something after a while.
I hope we have a new direction because we do have elections here. We have them.
Yeah, they matter.
They matter. So we'll see. Ms.
And
Laura,
this
everybody.
predates a lot of this bill. This predates Obama too. The negative feeling about the country and our
From
direction
2000
predates
onward,
Obama.
we started to slip, almost from 9/11.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Thank you, Laura. Next on the Rundown, White House correspondent Ed Henry on the president's collapsing poll numbers and the new executive order on Ukraine. Then Hillary Clinton's comments on Hitler. Very interesting situation. Factors coming right back.